So we continue reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 2, text 19. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Ananta Sfatike Yaiche Eka Surya Bhase Taiche Jive Govindera Amsha Prakashe. As the one sun appears reflected in countless jewels, so Govinda manifests himself as Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. So we heard the position of the impersonal Brahman, that it's a feature, it's the light coming from the body of the Lord. And so now the Paramatma feature. Paramatma feature, although the Paramatma is there in everyone's heart, he's one, he's not divided. You know, just as the sun, if you ask anyone, where is the sun? They'll say it's here, right here, you know, because the sun is so big, but it's not there so many different suns. The sun is one. It's not there is an American sun or a Taiwanese sun or an Indian sun, you know. So the sun is situated in a specific location, but is reflected in countless jewels and appears in innumerable localized aspects. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although eternally present in his transcendental abode, Golok Vrindavan, is reflected in everyone's heart as the super soul. So it's said that although Krishna is there in Golok Vrindavan, he's also in everyone's heart as the super soul. That is Krishna as he can be present, omnipresence. In the Upanishads, it is said that the Jiva, living entity, and the Paramatma, super soul, are like the two birds sitting in the same tree. The super soul engages the living being in executing fruitive work as a result of his deeds in the past. But the Paramatma has nothing to do with such engagements. So the Upanishads say that they give the analogy to help us explain that there are two souls in the heart. One is the Jivatma and one is the Paramatma. One is us and one is the super soul sitting right now in each and everyone's body, like two birds sitting on a tree. They're like two birds. And so what are we doing? We, the individual soul, you know, what does the Paramatma do? The Paramatma helps us remember, hey, this was your desire, you know, you wanted to do this, 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 this. And so take up that work. And so then what the living entity says, oh yes, I had this desire. Let me do this. Fruitive work means let me work, I will get the result, and then I will enjoy that result. It's there in every sphere of our life. Let me eat this, I will enjoy. Let me go here, I will enjoy. Let me, you know, everything. Let me say this, I will enjoy. I will see, become powerful, then I will enjoy. But what does the Paramatma do? He's just witnessing. He doesn't do anything else. He's there just as a witness, and he gives us the remembrance and the knowledge. You know, he gives us he directs, because we forget when we wake up when we are at night sleeping, we forget all the desires that we were so busy for. All the things that we were so concerned about in the daytime, we forget everything at night. Then in the morning, the Paramatma reminds us again, hey, yesterday you wanted to do this, 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 this. Then we take up our work. Same when we give up one body and enter into another body. You know, when we give up one body, then we forget. Then in another body, the Paramatma again reminds us, oh, you had these desires. Then again, we start working towards it. So as soon as the living being ceases to act in terms of fruitive work and takes to the service of the Lord, the Paramatma, coming to know of his supremacy, is immediately freed from all designations. And in that pure state, he enters the kingdom of God known as Vaikuntha. So how do we enter the kingdom of God? How do we leave this material world? Is that we have to become free from all designations. Then how do we get free from all designation? Free from all designation means all material designation, that I am a man or a woman, or I am belonging to a certain caste or a community or a species, man or woman or Indian or Chinese or American, or, or I'm a boss or a servant or a student. When he's given up all these designations, when he's realized that he's the pure soul in pure state, he enters the kingdom of God. And how do we come to that stage? How is when the living being ceases to act in terms of fruitive work. When the living being realizes, oh, let me engage in devotional service. Let me work for the pleasure of Krishna and not for engaging in my pleasure. Then gradually, all his designations are vanished, vanquished. So it all begins by hearing and chanting. The hearing and chanting, the first process is because devotional service begins by hearing. So hearing and chanting, and then gradually, we will become free from designations. Then we'll be purified and we can enter the kingdom of God. So the Paramatma or Super Soul, the guide of the individual living beings, does not take part in fulfilling the desires of the living beings, but he arranges for their fulfillment by material nature. So it's not that the Paramatma, he himself is working inside our heart to fulfill our desires. No, it is done, the fulfillment of our desires is facilitated by this material nature. The sanction is given by the Paramatma. The jiva has a desire. Whether this desire should be fulfilled or no, that it depends on the Paramatma. Then once the Paramatma gives the sanction, then through the agency of the material nature, our desire is fulfilled. As soon as an individual soul becomes conscious of his eternal relationship with the Super Soul and looks only toward him, he at once becomes free from the entanglements of material enjoyment. So we keep thinking that I did it. I worked so hard, and so I should be able to enjoy whatever I worked hard for. This is all for me because I put so much effort in it. And we totally disregard that everything is happening because it's the Lord's arrangement. He has sanctioned it, and the material nature is facilitating it. We are just the jiva, the soul inside the body. This body does not belong to us. It doesn't belong to us, but Krishna is facilitating, the material energy is facilitating to fulfill our desire. So then, as soon as the individual soul understands, oh, I have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. Oh, and the Supreme Lord is in my heart. Then he at once becomes free from entanglements of material enjoyment. At once becomes free from entanglements of material enjoyment. And so how do we start? How do we come to that position? How do we become conscious of our eternal relationship with the Lord? It begins with a slight faith. Oh, if someone has a slight faith, then what will they do? They will associate with the devotees. Then what will the devotees tell them? Devotees will tell them, engage in bhakti, engaging in hearing, chanting, worshipping the deity, offering prayers. And then what happens? Then the devotee, then the soul, he comes to the position of that he has an eternal relationship with the Lord. And then his attachment to the material world is cut out, free from entanglement of material enjoyment. So because our surrender is not complete, it takes time for us because we have been in this material world for a long time. So for us, it's like, gradual. It happens in layers, or it happens in steps. So And how much we surrender, to that degree, Krishna reveals us. Krishna reveals himself to us. To that degree, we feel blissful. To that degree, we give up our attachment to the material world. Christian philosophers who do not believe in the law of karma put forward the argument that it is absurd to say one must accept the results of past deeds of which he has no consciousness. A criminal is first reminded of his misdeeds by witnesses in a law court, and then he is punished. If death is complete forgetfulness, why should a person be punished for his past misdeeds? The conception of the Paramatma is an invincible answer to this fallacious arguments. The Paramatma is the witness of the past activities of the individual living being. A man may not remember what he has done in his childhood, but his father, who has seen him grow through different stages of development, certainly remembers. Similarly, the living being undergoes many changes of body through many lives, but the super soul is always with him and remembers all his activities, despite his evolution through different bodies. So sometimes when we are suffering, we say, oh my God, what did I do to deserve this? You know, I don't deserve to be suffering like that. I'm such a nice person. That's because we have forgotten. We have changed so many bodies. We can't even remember what activities we have done in a few days ago. What to speak of our previous bodies. But Krishna is there in our heart as the Paramatma, and he's witnessing all our activities. And the material laws are like that how we act, so shall you reap. Whatever actions we have done, we have to have those reactions because we have acted according to our desire. So that desire will be fulfilled in some way, and that desire will have some result. And that comes as comes to us as the suffering. Yeah. So the Paramatma is there with us till the time we are in this material world. No matter which body we take, we could be in the body of a tree or a body of an ant or a body of a bird or a body of a germ, body of a human being, body of a demigod, body of an animal. No matter what body we take, the Paramatma is there accompanying us. Only when we give up our material bodies, no more body to take, only when we enter the spiritual world, then the Paramatma does not accompany us there. Why? Because in the spiritual world, we are able to see the Lord face to face. In the Vaikuntha, we see the Lord face to face. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Athava bahunetena kim gyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam kritsnam ekam shena sthito jagat. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna said, what more shall I say to you? I live throughout this cosmic manifestation merely by my single plenary portion. Describing his own potencies to Arjuna, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, spoke this verse of the Bhagavad Gita 10.42. So this verse is taken from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 42, where Krishna was describing to Arjuna his different opulences, his different vibhutis. And then he says, what use is there of this, detailed knowledge? I'm in this whole cosmic manifestation, I'm holding on to it. I'm maintaining it just by merely a fragment, only by my fragment, only by my single plenary portion. He's maintaining this entire cosmic manifestation. So it's not a big deal for Krishna, this entire creation. He's in each and every atom, in the heart of each and every living entity as the Paramatma. And that's how this whole material creation is being maintained. Shall we stop here for today? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining in. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.